go. So we are here today, and welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to spend some time with me. As you know, that this is being put before you, my program for abused women, children, and men. I am always in deep thought of those who have been abused, as I have suffered abuse myself. I am a victim of abuse, and to know the difference between the before, not ever thinking that it would happen to me, not even knowing that part of the world that actually existed, and then the beginning of it, and thinking that this is really not happening. It kind of knocks you off your thought process of trying to figure out what in the world, to the actual being in it continuing to happen. It kind of takes you into a bondage type feel of how, and I dare say, how the hell did I get here, and how am I going to get out? It has nothing to do with from being in it, and I'm not talking about the very vague, or not minimizing any abuse at all, but because mine was extensive, I was literally told that I've got to kill you. So that kind of, it went past the verbal abuse. It went past the, I'm trying to keep you, away from everybody else. It went past that, because it's different levels. But what I've learned about abuse is that it really doesn't stop abusing. It just shows you the different avenues of abuse. So therefore, you have to figure out the different avenues of getting away from the abuse, and or finding out what abuse actually is trying to do, and what it has in store for you, and figure out, is that what you want to do? Is that a life you want to live? Because this program deals with every aspect of abuse. I have been, I've had some inquiries. Did I say that right? I'm so glad y'all with me. I'm so glad y'all hang out with me, and you've trooped with me on my journey to try to make sure I get the information out to you. But as I said, I am on this journey, and I definitely want to see the end of it, to see the end of the results of this journey. And I'm so glad that y'all are with me. So being able to say the words and not say them correctly, and I don't have to get, the flack of, you have to pronounce the A, the E, the M, because getting out of abuse is much more important than the language of getting the alphabets right. Just saying. That's just my thought. But I have to stop and make sure I thank you all, because I definitely am grateful. I want you all to think about, as I think about, the different avenues of getting out of abuse. And having said that, like I said a few minutes ago, that I have had inquiries about counseling and help with that. So what I'm doing is getting the connects to be able to have you meet with people, either one-on-one and or in a group, whichever you prefer. These people that I'm connecting you with are licensed, and they are thorough, and they are more than interested in getting you to your next level of breakthrough. Whatever avenue you take to get out of abuse, other than to rid yourself, they are interested in helping you get to that point, as I am interested in helping you get to that point, because abuse wants you to think that you are not worthy of freedom. You are not worthy of being able to speak. You are not worthy of being able to voice your opinion, that you are not worthy of seeing your own thoughts and or dreams come to a realization. And that alone is important to me. So one of the things that I want you to know and understand as we go along on this journey, and you are with me, joining me, and I truly appreciate that, is that I'm looking to take care of your feelings, your heart, your mind, your thought process of what is the next best level, what is the next best thing that you can do to get to the next point of being able to free yourself from not only the dilemma, but the challenge of being in bondage, because when you are in an abusive relationship, you don't have the privilege of thinking your own thoughts, because you're too afraid of what someone else may say, someone else may do. And it's extremely tiresome. Extremely tiresome. I want you all to get to the point of where you realize that you are more important than what any abuse would have you think. So the people that I am connecting you with are interested in you getting to that level, as I am. So I'm going to drop it in the chat. I'm going to see if I can get that. If I can get I don't know how to do it. I should have written it down and had it before me. Y'all forgive me. I'm still learning, although that's not an excuse. Sorry about that. I'm still in the middle of getting some stuff done. But I am determined to get everyone out of abuse, because I want it stopped. And I know that it can be, because just like any other flow of anything else, it can be stopped. And this is a murderer. It is a liar. It is a thief. It is all of that. Good morning, Ashia. Would it be too much to ask you, Ashia? This is one of the awesome counselors here that I am joining with that can help you. Would you mind coming on and speaking to my group, Ashia? I'm going to see if I could do what I did before. Let's see if I can add you on, because I would love to have you speak to them and let them know that they are in good hands, that their life is important to you, and along with the other people that we are definitely going to have them connected to. And good morning to you.
How are you?
So what I want you all to understand is that you are important. We're going to be talking today about inside out. and why that is so important. I thought it only timely due to the fact that um, I'm being able to be connected to people that can give you a outlook of light from the darkness. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all see my hair? Y'all see my hair? Y'all see, I did my hair. So when if I start falling apart, I got me a scarf so I could just tie it up. I just had to brag on that for a minute, because in abuse, and I take nothing away from our conversation, but what I want you to understand is that because of abuse, something as simple as this, you can't get your hair done. That's not what I like. It's a problem. It's a problem. We're here and we should be able to have a decision to make our own decisions. If I decide to change my hairstyle, if I decide to wear makeup, if I decide to wear certain clothes, then I should be able to do that. And so should you. So we're going to talk about the inside out of our thought process and what that means and the difference of that. And actually, what does that have to do with abuse? What does that have to do with it? Well, I want to bring some information to you from CX University. CX University did a study about what people think about certain things. And they said to think inside out means to focus on process. Write these things down. Focus on process, systems, tools, and products. Y'all excuse me this morning. I'm having just a little bit of problem going on in my face. But I'm going to say that again. To think inside out means to focus on process, systems, tools, and products that are designed and implemented based on internal thinking and intuition. Why is that a big thing? What is your intuition when it comes to abuse? You see, everything that you do in the world, in your life, you have to come to a decision about it. The thing about abuse is that abuse wants you to think only about it. It wants you to fear it. It wants you to pay attention to it. It wants you to give your day to it. It wants you to adhere to all of its rules and regulations, if that makes sense. And we're not talking about just someone saying, well, I think you should use an umbrella before you go outside. It's raining, you know. We're not talking about that. We're talking about someone being in a position to have input, be in your life, to have input, and yet they take that and use it not only to manipulate you, but to browbeat you, to physically abuse you, mentally abuse you, socially abuse you, psychologically abuse you, financially abuse you. See, these are all different ways that people are being abused.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not one thing, one incident. And when abuse happens, it changes. So what is your intuition telling you about the relationships that you're in, mentally, emotionally? Because truth be told, majority of the time, abuse doesn't tell you that Oh, it doesn't. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm abuse. And I'm getting ready to, abuse your finances. I'm not going to allow you to have any money. The money you have, I'm going to take that. And any way that I could try to make a way where you can't get any money, I'm going to do that too. And anything that you have that can make money, I'm going to make sure you can't use that. Any avenue that you can borrow money or anything, I'm going to make sure you can't get to that. I'm going to make it impossible.
Miss Sandra, can I
That's
say something on that
in
in that
all those
stance?
areas that I mentioned. Psychological abuse. It's abuse, mental, emotional. You have people saying that they have come out of an abusive relationship and they've been in it for a few months, and yet they have PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's horrific because what was happening, and they were in a space where they weren't able to tell anyone the embarrassment, the psychological damage that it plays on you. This is a big thing. So when you're in the relationship, is it possible to say, or is it reasonable to say that your internal thinking and your intuition needs to be heightened in these cases? Like I said, abuse doesn't come and knock on the door and tell you exactly what they're going to do. So you're going to need your intuition. You're going to need your internal thinking. You're going to need to be able to say to yourself, is this the way I want to live? Is this the way I'm supposed to be treated? These are things that knock on your strings of, what is it? Y'all know what I'm saying. Self-confidence, or um, even your motivation to do anything. I want you all to come alive for yourself. And I'm not asking you to do that for anything better than yourself. You are important, and you have to get to the inside of your thinking. So if inside thinking means to use your intuition and your internal thoughts to think about the process, the systems, the tools, and products that are designed and implemented based on your thinking, your intuition of it, and your internal thinking. If inside thinking does that, then what does outside thinking does? We go again to the university, CX University. Let me read what it says. I found this very interesting. You are with me on my journey to get me there, to help me continue moving up from abuse. Let me see if I can do this a little bit better. I have been told about some stuff about speaking and all that other good stuff, so I'm trying to do better. I feel like I'm crooked. Am I crooked, you all?
No, you're just fine to me.
Pardon if I am, but let's look into this. since y'all are with me on this journey. Okay, so if inside thinking does that, what does outside thinking do? It says, on the other hand, outside in thinking means that you look at your business for the customers, from the customer's perspective, and subsequently design all of those other things and make decisions based on what's best for the customer and what meets the customer's needs. You make decisions because you know it's what's best for them. Now, this is talking about business, but truth be told, abuse is a business. Did y'all know that? When we continue to be in abuse, we allow ourselves to pay for, we're the price. We're paying for whatever that abuser wants. They want us quiet, we pay for it. Here you go. I'll give you whatever you want. I want you beat up. Here you go. I submit to that. I want you beat up. This is not a way of living if you want to be free, if you want to know what real love is, if you want to feel joy, peace, and happiness. Truth be told, it is not a way of living for, let's see, what can y'all help me? What can you put there? What can you put there? It's not a way for living in a life that says, I celebrate you. I'm so happy that you are here with me. That type of life is not there because you are giving abuse all that it wants. And it's not cool. It's not a way that is going to help you enjoy any of your chosen aspects of life. All your dreams, all of that is going to be gone. If you all have a pen and paper, I want you to write this down. Take notes. Write this down because here's someone that will help you reach another level, and know that the information that you share, it is confidential and it's for the benefit of you to get past being in any type of abusive state. And know that abuse can mean that you are abusing yourself. Does it make sense? Self-sabotaging. We talked about that before. So I'm going to give you the link to Ashia, her counseling service, and she will be able to give you what personal services she renders. Her contact information is 281-806-5366. I will say that again, 281-806-5366. Her email is www SpontaneousQueen.com. And that is www, excuse me, www.spontaneousqueen.com. So you will be contacting Spontaneous Queen for counseling services. And do not forget that you are not alone in this fight at all. One of the things that has been mentioned here is how one of the things that has been mentioned is the thinking outside is to give someone your concern. I want you to think about everything that you have given that person. In this program, we have covered what your name means. We have covered the importance of validating yourself and not having to have to be validated through others. We have covered what it means to be loved and what that looks like. We've covered a few things, but the most important thing is knowing that you are more valuable than what abuse wants you to think you are and what abuse wants you to accept. There are so many things that can help you to be more like who you want to be. And because of doing that, you get to understand what your joys are, what your likes are, what things you want to be around. And more than that is to be able to do an inside out thinking, not an outside in. Because the inside out is about your intuitions. It's about your thinking. It's about what's important to you. It's about what's going to make you happy. There have been so many unnecessary deaths. When we come to what the word says, and that is to love yourself, to love yourself, and to love your neighbor as you love yourself. To love one another is to love yourself. Because how can you love someone else and you have no clue about what that means, what it is? I often think and talk about the Bible and the difference it makes. One of the things it has made in my life is one of the absolute main ones, and that is I'm alive. It made me the victor over abuse. It helped me change my thought process, which is why I bring this information to you all. And yes, I'm still on this journey of breaking free because there are things that we have to be aware of. Let me tell you about a personal experience. I had someone looking to spend time with me. And they asked for a date. And I was like, sure, why not? Because every time I saw this person and met up with this person, they were cool, calm, collected. We laughed, we joked, all of that. And I didn't have a problem. Until the date night. And this person actually turned into a whole different person. And I was like, oh, wow. To understand that you have to notice the red flags and know what you want to do with them. This is your right. This is your right. I was looking on TikTok. I'm going to finish what I was saying, but I was looking on TikTok and there was a message coming through where they wanted women to be aware of their surroundings. And you all may have seen this, where the woman was running. She was doing her regular jogging. I'm assuming it was regular, but she was doing her jogging. And a jogger ran up beside her. First he ran behind her. Then he ran on the side of her. Then he acted like he was getting tired and he just dropped. Then he ran on the other side of her. And then when she just moved out the way to just continue, doing her thing, he grabbed her. And of course, a struggle broke out. But my thing is that we get to use our inside out thinking. What do you do with the information that you love you, that you have the right to protect you, that you have the right to make the choice of this is not a relationship I want to be in? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There are laws that have to be put in place. And one of the biggest things that I have been addressed with, and that is that this is not a battle that is fought only in humancy. Does that make sense? Am I getting too far above? And when I say above, I mean out of the range of being able to put it in something that's grabbable. The only way I can grab it is that God wants us to have love, joy, peace, and happiness. He says in his word, this great book, that the kingdom is not eating and drinking, but of joy, peace, and righteousness in the spirit. It says nothing about abuse. You understand? He says that he wants us to know, and these words were coming through Paul, that he wants us to know the width, height, depth, all of these other things. The length of love, of God's love. Abuse is not that. Now, what abuse can do is to show you what love is not. Just saying. So back to my date that I was like, oh, I'm gonna go chill with this guy, da-da-da. I won't mention his name, but yeah, because he was cool. He like, I'm gonna take you out for your birthday because you always been cool. Yeah, we have great conversation. Yeah, cool. That's what's up. I don't mind. And we're going to do something that I love to do. I was like, oh, cool, I'm down for that. What do you know? He gets to yelling and I don't know, where the heck you at? Attitude. I was like, oh, we won't be doing that. Because if I can talk to you with respect, then I'm going to need that back. And it wasn't just a little height of noise. You know how people get irritated. I've been waiting on you for such and such a time. Da, 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 da. Now, of course, he hadn't been waiting on me. I had been waiting on him. When I went to do something, he happened to pull up. And you get bent out of shape because of that. Listen, if you get bent out of shape for that, what else will you get bent out of shape for? I check myself, which is what I want for everyone to do. Check yourself and see what's hidden in you. Because, or should I say, allow God to do the checking. You know, David and Job did too. They asked God, just seek in me, look inside me. Paul did too, if I remember correctly. Look in all my heart, in my everything, and see what you don't like, and get rid of that. I told my children and grandchildren that abuse is not to be laid with, stayed with, played with, none of that. And I said it hides in many places. A pretty face never meant safety. And I also said, and don't let abuse creep up in you to cause you to do to someone else what you don't want done to you. One of the things that I think about on a regular basis is not doing to someone else what I don't want done to me. Because that's important. It truly is important. To Sandra, that is important. Because I think about stuff I don't want done, and I'd be like, oh, yeah. Okay, wait a minute. That means I can't do that. Because it helps you to think about what needs to be put in place for you and me to give someone the best treatment, the best care that you would want for yourself. This is why I continually go back to the Word, to the Bible, that good book, because it's all there. It also says in that big book that those who show love are the children of God. It says clearly that you will know my children by the love that they show. You cannot show love and abuse at the same time. I didn't say it. These are things that are so important for us to do, to understand. I believe that abuse has taught me a lot. So if you are in an abusive relationship, and I don't advise for anyone to get into one, but I do advise that if you are in one, find the tools. Let's see what this said. find the tools, focus on the tools, the process, the systems, and we'll leave product out. Focus on these things that are designed and implemented and base them on your internal thinking and your intuition. So if you're going to use your intuition and your internal thinking about the process and the systems and the tools that abuse is using, thinking about, y'all, excuse me, I feel like something's in my eye, that when you are thinking about these things, while in this abusive relationship of any kind, understand what's going on in you, what you want, what you like. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had known about abuse like I know about abuse now then. And growing up, I've seen it, but the process of understanding it is different. You understand? The process that the abusers use, the process that goes through your mind, the systems that abuse uses. It starts with little things like, that's mine, you can't touch it. A little touch that's too hard. Putting you down, calling you out your name. And I'm not talking just about women and children. I'm talking about men too. Men have been abused. As I was going through my abusive situation, there was a man that was going through the same thing. He was like, I was brought up never to put my hands on a female. But she'd just be kicking my tail. We used to meet at the bar. He had black eye, jacked up head, all this stuff. It's not cool. And the word says that if you are able to do this, then you don't know love. So anything that you do it from do it from a inside out. Focus in on the process, the systems, the tools that are designed and implemented based on your internal thinking and your intuition. Don't do it from the outside in, because then you're thinking about what that abuser is doing and you allowing them to do it. Think about, why would I allow the abuser to do this? We have to come to a point where we are addressing these things. And abuse definitely has to be addressed.